Hello everyone, I'm CA Neeraj B. Welcome to my YouTube channel Accounting Buddy NB. In today's lesson, we will cover the written down value method of depreciation, explaining how depreciation is charged on the reducing balance of an asset each year. It highlights the advantages and limitations of this method compared to the straight line method. Through illustration number 10, learners will understand how to calculate the depreciation, past journal entries, and prepare the machinery account over 3 financial years. Illustration 11 demonstrates how to compute the profit or loss on the sale of machinery by determining at the date of sale. This lesson concludes with a comparison between the SLM and the WDV method. Therefore, sit back, relax, and watch the full video. In this slide, we will discuss second important method of providing depreciation, that is the written down value method, which in short is also referred to as the WDV method. Under this method, depreciation is charged on the book value of the asset each year at the prescribed rate. Under the WDV method, which is also known as the diminishing balance method, depreciation is charged at a fixed rate on the reducing balance, that is the cost less depreciation every year. In other words, a rate of depreciation is applied on the written down value, that is the book value of the asset every year over its estimated useful life. For example, if the cost of an asset is $30,000 and the rate of depreciation is 10% per annum, under WDV method, depreciation will be charged as per below table on year basis. For year 1, $3,000 depreciation will be provided, which is 10% of the original cost of the asset. For year 2, the written down value will be $27,000, which is arrived at after deducting $3,000 depreciation for year 1 from the original cost of the asset of $30,000. Depreciation for year 2 will be $2,700, which is 10% of the opening WDV balance of $27,000 for year 2. For year 3, the written down value will be $24,300, which is calculated after deducting $2,700 depreciation from year 2 from the WDV of $27,000 in the beginning of year 2. Depreciation for year 3 will be $2,430, which is 10% of the opening WDV of $24,300 in the beginning of the year 3. Depreciation is charged on year basis till the estimated useful life of the asset. In this slide, let us understand the advantages of written down value method. This method of charging depreciation is logical in the sense that an asset becomes older, the amount of depreciation also decreases, but repair expenses increase. The combined cost of depreciation and repairs is more or less in uniform throughout the life of the asset. In the initial years, depreciation is higher and the repair expenses are low. In the later years, depreciation is lower and the repair expenses are higher. Now let us learn the limitations of written down value method. In this method, the value of the asset does not become zero. It is difficult task to ascertain the proper percentage of depreciation under this method. Another illustration on your screen is Tolly Trading LLC purchased a machinery against the check for $90,000 on 1st of July 2022. Second machinery was purchased for $110,000 against the check on 1st of October 2022. Depreciation is charged at the rate of 10% per annum under the WDV method. Accounts are closed every year on 31st December. Past journal entries for the year ended December 2022, 2023 and 2024 and prepare the machinery account. Let us first calculate the depreciation of the two machines purchased. First machine is purchased on 1st of July 2022 and the second machine on 1st of October 2022. The cost of first machine is $90,000 and the cost of second machine is $110,000. Let us now calculate the depreciation for the financial year 2022. Depreciation for machine 1 is calculated for 6 months. Therefore, when we apply the depreciation rate of 10% per annum on the cost of machinery 1, which is $90,000, we will get an annual depreciation amount of $9,000, and the proportionate amount of depreciation for 6 months will be $4,500. For machinery 2, depreciation will be charged for 3 months. Therefore, the proportionate amount of depreciation for machinery 2 comes to $2,750. Therefore, the total depreciation of both the machines for the financial year 2022 comes to $7,250. The written down value as on 1st of January 2023, that is the first day of the financial year 2023, will be $85,500 for machinery 1, and the depreciation for machinery 1 for the financial year 2023 will be charged at the rate of 10% per annum on the WDV value of $85,500. Therefore, the depreciation for machinery 1 will be $8,550. Similarly, the WDV value of machinery 2 as on 1st of January 2023 will be $107,250, and the depreciation for machinery 2 at the rate of 10% per annum on WDV value of $107,250 will be $10,725. Hence, the total amount of depreciation charged for both the machines for the financial year 2023 comes to $19,275. Now, the WDV of machinery 1 as on 1st of January 2024 will be $76,950, and the depreciation on machinery 1 at the rate of 10% on the WDV value of $76,950 comes to $7,695 for the financial year 2024. For machinery 2, the WDV as on 1st of January 2024 will be $96,525, and the depreciation on the machinery 2 for the financial year 2024 at the rate of 10% on the WDV value of $96,225 comes to $9,653. Therefore, the total depreciation for both the machines under WDV method for the financial year 2024 comes to $17,348. Basis previous slide information, let us now pass the journal entries in the books of Tolly Trading LLC. On 1st of July 2022, business purchased machinery for $90,000 and made the payment by check. The two accounts affected by this transaction are machinery account and bank account. Machinery account will be debited and the bank account will be credited, and the entry will be passed for $90,000 by writing the proper narration. Similarly, on 1st of October 2022, business purchased another machinery for $110,000 against a check payment. The entry will be passed by debiting the machinery account and crediting the bank account for $110,000 by writing the proper narration. On 31st December 2022, depreciation for the financial year 2022 entry is passed by debiting the depreciation account and crediting the machinery account for $7,250. The calculation of the depreciation for both the machines is explained on your screen. Proper narration of the entry is also mentioned. On 31st December 2022, depreciation for the financial year 2022 is transferred to the profit and loss account by passing the entry debit profit and loss account and credit depreciation account for $7,250 by writing the proper narration. Let us now understand how the entry of depreciation for the financial year 2023 will be calculated. WDV as on 1st January 2024 for the machinery 1 is $85,500, and when 10% is applied on the WDV value of $85,500, we will get $8,550 as depreciation to be charged for machinery 1 for the financial year 2023. The WDV of machinery 2 as on 1st January 2023 is $107,250, and at the rate of 10%, the depreciation amount for machinery 2 for the financial year 2023 comes to $10,725. Therefore, a total amount of $19,275 will be provided as depreciation for the financial year 2023. Entry will be passed on 31st December 2023 by debiting the depreciation account and crediting the machinery account for $19,275 and by writing the proper narration for the entry. On 31st December 2023, the depreciation amount of $19,275 for the financial year 2023 will be transferred to the profit and loss account by passing the entry by debiting the profit and loss account and crediting the depreciation account for $19,275 and by writing the proper narration for the entry. Let us understand how the entry of depreciation for the financial year 2024 will be calculated. WDV as on 1st of January 2024 for the machinery 1 is $76,950, and when 10% is applied on the WDV value of $76,950, we will get $7,695 as depreciation for the financial year 2024 for machinery 1. The WDV of machinery 2 as on 1st of January 2024 is $96,525, and at 10% depreciation amount for machinery 2 for the financial year 2024 comes to $9,653. Therefore, a total amount of $17,348 will be provided as depreciation for the financial year 2024. On 31st December 2024, the depreciation entry will be passed by debiting the depreciation account and crediting the machinery account for $17,348 by writing the proper narration. On 31st December 2024, the depreciation amount of $17,348 for the financial year 2024 will be transferred to the profit and loss account by passing the entry by debiting the profit and loss account and crediting the depreciation account for $17,348 and by writing the proper narration for the entry. Machinery ledger account is displayed on your screens. On 1st of July 2022, machinery worth $90,000 is purchased, and again on 1st of October 2022, another machinery for $110,000 is purchased and the payment is made by checks. Both the transactions are posted on the debit side of the account by writing the words to bank account. On 31st December 2022, $7,250 being the depreciation amount of both the machines is posted on the credit side of the account by writing the words by depreciation account. The calculations are displayed on your screens. Now, if from the debit side total of $200,000 credit side transactions are deducted, we are left with a closing balance of $192,750 as on 31st December 2022 and is recorded on the credit side of the account by writing the words by balance carried down. Thus, the machinery account for the financial year 2022 is said to be balanced. The closing book value as on 31st December 2022 for $192,750 will become the opening balance as on 1st January 2023 and will be recorded on the debit side of the account by writing the words to balance brought down. Depreciation for the financial year 2023 is posted on 31st December 2023 on the credit side of the account for $19,275. The depreciation calculation for both the machines is displayed on your screen. Now, if from the debit side total of $192,750 credit side transactions are deducted, we are left with a closing WDV balance as on 31st December 2023 recorded on the credit side of the account by writing the words by balance carried down for $173,475. Thus, the machinery account for the financial year 2023 is said to be balanced. The closing balance of $173,475 as on 31st December 2023 will become the opening balance as on 1st January 2024 and is recorded on the debit side of the account by writing the words to balance brought down. On 31st December 2024, depreciation for the financial year 2024 is posted on the credit side of the account for $17,348. The calculation of the depreciation for both the machines for the financial year 2024 is displayed on your screens. Depreciation is recorded by writing the words by depreciation account. Now, when from the debit side total of $173,475 credit side transactions are deducted, we are left with a closing balance of $156,128 as on 31st December 2024, and it is recorded on the credit side of the account by writing the words by balance carried down. Thus, the machinery account for the financial year 2024 is said to be balanced. Another illustration on your screen is a manufacturing business purchased an old machinery for $150,000 on 1st of January 2022 and incurred $50,000 on its repair. It charged depreciation at the rate of 20% per annum following the written down value method. The machinery was sold on 1st of July 2023 for $160,000. Books are closed every year on 31st December. Prepare the machinery account for the financial year 2022 and 2023. Let us first find out the total cost of the machinery. The cost of machinery of $200,000 is the sum total of the purchase price, that is $150,000, and the repair charges of $50,000. Now let us do the depreciation working. The machinery is purchased on 1st of January 2022. The total cost of machinery is $200,000. Depreciation for the financial year 2022 provided at the rate of 20% per annum on $200,000 will be $40,000. When we deduct the depreciation of $40,000 for the financial year 2022 from the original cost of the machinery of $200,000, we are left with a WDV balance of $160,000 as on 1st January 2023. Since the machinery is sold on 1st of July 2023, depreciation for the financial year 2023 will be provided for 6 months, that is, the first day of the financial year till the date on which the asset is sold. Therefore, the proportionate amount of depreciation of $16,000 will be charged for the financial year 2023. The WDV value on the date of sale, that is 1st of July 2023, will be $144,000. Machinery ledger account is displayed on your screens. On 1st of January 2022, business purchased an old machinery for $150,000 and incurred $50,000 on its repair. Both payments are made by check. These transactions are posted on the debit side of the machinery account by writing the words to bank account. On 31st December 2022, the depreciation for the financial year 2022 is provided at the rate of 20% on the total cost of $200,000 of the machinery. Therefore, $40,000 is posted on the credit side of the machinery account by writing the words by depreciation account. Now, when from the debit side total of $200,000, the transactions on the credit side are deducted, we are left with a closing WDV balance of $160,000, which is recorded on the credit side of the machinery account as on 31st December 2022 by writing the words by balance carried down. Thus, the machinery account for the financial year 2022 is said to be balanced. The closing balance of $160,000 as on 31st December 2022 will become the opening balance as on 1st January 2023 and will be recorded on the debit side of the account by writing the words to balance brought down. On 1st of July 2023, machinery is sold for $160,000 and is posted on the credit side of the machinery account by writing the words by bank account. On 1st of July 2023, depreciation from 1st of January 2023 till the date of sale of machinery is provided. Machinery depreciation at the rate of 20% on $160,000 comes to $32,000 and the proportionate amount of depreciation for 6 months is $16,000. Now from the sales proceed of $160,000, the WDV value of $144,000 as on the date of sale of machine is deducted. We have $16,000 as the profit on sale of machinery, which will be recorded on the debit side of the asset as on 1st July 2023 by writing the words to profit on sale of machinery account. Thus the machinery account is said to be balanced. In this slide, we will learn the difference between the straight line method and the written down value method. First basis of difference is the depreciation charge. Under straight line method, depreciation is calculated on the original cost of the fixed asset, whereas under the SLM method, depreciation is calculated on book value or written down value of the fixed asset. Another basis of difference is the amount of depreciation. Under SLM method of depreciation, the amount of depreciation remains same in all the years, while under SLM method, the amount of depreciation reduces year after year. Next basis of difference is the cost of depreciation and repairs. Under the SLM method, the combined expense of depreciation and the repairs is lower in the initial years and higher in the later years. While in case of SLM, the combined expense of depreciation and repairs remains more or less equal throughout the period. Another basis of difference is suitability. SLM method is more suitable for the assets which get depreciated on account of expiry of working life of the assets, whereas SLM method is suitable for such assets which requires more and more repair in the later years of their working life. Next basis of difference is the calculation of the rate of depreciation. Under SLM method, it is easy to calculate the rate of depreciation, whereas under SLM, it is difficult to calculate the rate of depreciation. In my next lesson of part 6 in the depreciation series on 31st January 2026, we focus on machinery sold under the written down value method of depreciation and understand how to account for it without maintaining a provision for depreciation account. This session connects dots between the depreciation, asset disposal, and ledger accounting, an essential concept for students and professionals alike. If you enjoy the content of my channel and appreciate my teaching style, please subscribe, share, and like my YouTube channel at the rate Accounting Buddy NB. Thank you and goodbye for now.